Can you believe that we basically only have 3 weeks left of the semester? It's been a weird semester, but we're making it. Hopefully you're all still doing well. If not, please shoot me an email. I'd love to help out in any way that I can. All right, so this week, pretty straightforward. Got a couple of PowerPoints and then a quiz here that is not going to be difficult, just to help us with the lockdown browser. And then I really want to focus today on our proposal presentation guidelines. So as far as the two PowerPoints go, a lot of the information is pretty straightforward. The emotional PowerPoint talks about some really cool stuff with the appraisal theory, but it also brings in some stuff that we call the nonviolent communication approach that allows you to approach difficult conversations, getting your needs met without being too confrontational. And then this PowerPoint here, I haven't had time to do the voiceover. I was actually going to do some video recording with it, but it is storming like crazy outside. And I don't have a lot of lighting in my house, so I really can only record on days when it's sunny outside so I can get some more natural light. I need to go out and buy some more light fixtures. So I will try to do the voiceover for this later this week. If I'm not able to this week, I'll include it again next week. But you can go ahead and glance at that. There's some good information in there. But yeah, I'll try to explain it and include it later on this week. The quiz for this week, the lockdown browser, this is basically just to help me know who is capable of using the lockdown browser. So I want you this week to download the lockdown browser. This quiz is worth 5 points. So download the browser, take the quiz using the lockdown browser. It just asks you general questions, not about the content of the PowerPoints, but more about how you feel your group is doing. And it's just to allow me to make sure that everybody's lockdown browser is working. Because if yours is not working, I want to know that now before we take the final exam. Because if you have issues with the final exam and you miss out on that 100 points that are possible for that final exam, that's really going to hurt your grade. So I'd rather we find out any issues on this simple thing that's only worth 5 points. So that'll be due on Friday. Please download the lockdown browser. Make sure you know how it works. If you don't remember how to download, refer back to the syllabus addendum. It has all the information on how to download that and what you need. You will need a camera and solid internet to make it work. All right, last thing for today, I want to talk about the proposal presentation guidelines. I've included quite a bit of information for you here, but I just wanted to talk generally. These are due in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today, your proposals need to be completed and ready for presentations. You will present to me alone. So it'll just be your group presenting one at a time. So you won't have to watch the other groups present. And that's just because of this unique format that we have. So I think I'm hoping that on that Monday, so 2 weeks from today, the two groups that typically meet on Mondays anyway, I'll probably just meet with you during that time. And then the group that typically meets on Friday, I'll shoot you an email and see if we can figure out time to meet either on Tuesday or Wednesday of that week. So probably on the 29th. But everybody's papers are due on the 27th. So regardless of when you give your presentation that week, everybody's papers are due on the 27th. All right, so this includes a proposal and an analysis. The proposal is the group side of it. The analysis is individual. Okay, so the proposal is going to occur as I will just join your session. So if you're using Skype or Zoom or whatever platform you're using, I'll just hop in there. And I want all of your group members to be there. And you will give a 20-minute proposal presentation to me, basically trying to convince me that the idea you have is going to work, that it's a good idea, that it's worth investing our time and money in. Okay. And then you'll have a 10-minute period where I will ask you questions about your project, about the communication in your group. I'll act basically like your boss, scrutinizing the presentation and making sure that you have thought of everything for this to be successful. So what should you include in your proposal? I've left a little bit of leeway here because some groups are going to be different. Some of you might prefer to do a PowerPoint presentation. I think other groups have created websites. So maybe you want to just walk me through what's on your website and show me some of the different flyers. So I don't really care how you give this presentation, but I want you to be convincing and I want you to be creative. The other thing that's going to make you effective here is if you have real examples. So if you can say, here's the email that we plan to send to this person, right? You don't have to have actually sent the email because I know that you're not doing the projects right now. But if you've composed the email, so that way you can say, look, we're going to be successful because we've already planned what we're going to say to this person. Or if you're making flyers, here's the flyer we've already designed that we plan to use, and it'll be successful here. Or we've already created this Facebook page, and here's how we've created it to draw more people to come into it. So the more real things that you can include, the more persuasive it's going to be. So this is going to be 20 minutes of you as a group showing me everything that you come up with. I don't want just one person talking. I'd love for it to be spread out. I don't care. You don't have to divide it evenly, and I don't even care that everybody necessarily talks, but I do want it to be a group presentation, not one person doing the talking for everybody. A couple of things that everybody should have. I want to know what your group goal is. I want to know what success looks like. I want to see your PERT diagram. I want to have other diagrams or charts in there just so I can get an idea of how much money you're raising or how many hours it's going to take and who's going to benefit. So that's a big thing. I should have a clear idea of who's benefiting. And then, like I said, as many of those completed portions of the project as possible. And again, just be creative. Imagine you're handing me a portfolio. Here's our suggestion. Here's what we think we should do. Here's the service project we want to run. Here's why we think it's a good idea. So that will be done as a group. So in all, probably our meeting will last about 45 minutes with introductions and everything, but you will have a 20-minute presentation and then a 10-minute Q&A session. The second portion of this paper is that BHAG individual paper that has not changed since day one of this semester. So everything here remains exactly the same. So individually, you need to write a 5 to 6 page APA paper. So include a title page and everything in there. And it'll be addressing or analyzing the communication within your group this semester. So talking about how good the communication was, or how bad the communication was, or what caused conflict, or how you were able to get close to one another, how you were able to have group efficacy, or how you were able to work as a group to accomplish more than you could have accomplished individually. So big things I want you to focus on. I want you to explain the communication processes within your specific group. And then I want you to explain any basic or any general breakdowns that occurred and look at why they occurred and what could have been done or what was done in order to fix them. Okay, so you don't really need to bring in outside sources here. This is all just you analyzing your group. So for this part of the project, I basically want you to imagine you have been hired as a communication expert to come in and analyze the communication for this group. So you're coming in, you're sitting in, you're part of the process, and at the end, you're doing a write-up explaining to this group their communication. So you might say stuff like, well, we had one group member who was really difficult to contact, and we realized that the reason they were hard to contact is that their goals or their connection to the group weren't as strong. They didn't have a strong identity with the group as the rest of us did. So we had to change our group a little bit, slightly adapt our group's identity so that that person could identify with our group. And once we did that, communication really improved with that person. Right? So whatever examples you had, use real examples from your group and walk me through analyzing the communication of your group this semester. So have a strong introduction, a strong conclusion. You're welcome to break it up into different sections like we did for the other papers if you want to, but just basically analyzing the communication there. And that is all that I have for this week. Please let me know if you have any questions, and good luck. I will see you later.